And so, that's one of the things that I struggle with, and I know how people feel about our first round pick this past season. And I don't think those are fair. He's a young man that again, if you look at where he came from, he had one full year as a starter. So this was his second year as a starter, getting opportunities to compete and play, and went out there and did the best he could. And we had to learn him and understand him. And and you guys heard what I've said the last couple of weeks is that with a true Mike in there, with David Mayo playing that position, not only did you see him play well, but you saw Cole play even better. And that to me is exciting. We learned something. And again, losing John Bostic when we did really stood out, and it showed us now just how important the group is. And I get it, and I'll get criticized for saying what I just said, but you know what? That's okay. But that's how I feel. I feel that if we could all settle down with the expectations and just give people opportunities, shoot, we may get surprised.
How do you balance that as a coach to continue to help the players develop while also
No, that's a great question, Nikki, because it's tough, because I get it. I mean, this area is hungry for a winner. They want a winner, and I want to win. I want this. That's why we played Sunday, to win, to show these folks that we care about winning. Show these folks these guys are going to show up and play hard. They're not going to take a dive. Man, they had something to play for. They had two guys do something that was pretty special, rush for 1,000 yards and be a 1,000-yard receiver. I mean, that's pretty doggone good. And so, just wanted to make sure that they understand that we're trying to do the best we can. And we'll continue to fight and compete, because to me that's important. It really is, because this fan base, and again, I've alluded to it, and Martin can tell you because he was here. He knows what it's like. We know what it's like when these guys are successful on the football field. They'll come out in droves. That's why the hard part is to balance, is to find where that fine line is of putting guys out there and quote unquote throwing them to the wolves. That was just a little, All right.
Ron Rivera, you are correct. You are about to get criticized for what you just said. So yet again, for me, the love-hate relationship with Ron Rivera is continuing. And granted, I really like Ron Rivera. I think he's a good coach. I think he gets the players to play hard. They want to win for him. They want to play well for him. But besides like the Dallas games, I don't really think our team has ever quit really during the game. They always try their hardest. Even when we had so much adversity we had to go through this year with injuries and COVID and all that stuff, I think Ron Rivera is a pretty good coach. But then there's things like this that are said or done that make me just borderline have to consider like changing my opinion on him. So it's just so hard, because he almost kind of insults our intelligence in this clip that I just showed you. So we picked Jamin Davis in the first round, and he has not produced up to the status of a first round pick. Ron Rivera then also goes on to talk about he knows that Washington wants to have a winner here. He knows that it's been a long time, 20 years since we've had any sort of success, at least. And then he's going to come up here and say, we used to, the expectations are too high. You guys need to settle your expectations, and then maybe we'll exceed them. That's literally what he just said. Turn your expectations down, and then maybe we'll exceed them. And he's talking about Jamin Davis, a guy that you picked in the first round, who you just admitted, yes, he only played 1 year as a starter in college, and then guess what? We reached for him, and then now I have to sit up here and almost insult our fans' intelligence by saying, maybe lower your expectations. Back in the day, we used to sit on the bench and learn and then get put into the fire. We're not talking about a fucking quarterback, all right? If we're talking about a quarterback, I understand that. And I do feel that that is an expectation that in the NFL today is too high. when you draft a young quarterback, I do think it's a good idea to maybe sit him, even if he's a first round pick. If we drafted a quarterback in the first round and we decided that, hey, we have a veteran guy, maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick was here, and we just drafted a young quarterback, and we're like, hey, let's let him sit behind a veteran like Ryan Fitzpatrick and let him learn something, and maybe next year we'll throw him in. Or hey, if he has to be thrown in a game later in the season, we can try that, but we don't want to just throw him to the wolves right away. I totally understand that. But we're not talking about a quarterback. We're not even talking about a linebacker that has to make calls and direct people out on the field. Like, what are we talking about here? This blows my mind that I just had to sit here and listen to that shit. Like, you instead of sitting up here and saying, instead of coming up here and saying, hey, we didn't get the production we wanted out of Jamin Davis, and guess what? We need to be better with our first round picks next year or whatever. Instead of him coming up here and saying that, we had to sit there and listen to all that shit, almost insulting our intelligence. Look around the NFL. There's first round picks breaking records, doing shit to help their team win. And we're sitting out here in dire situations, in the most critical moments of games, we're sitting Jamin Davis on his ass over on the bench because you reached for somebody in the first round. And then you don't want to come up here and admit it, or at least say it in a way that you admit what you did, and say, hey, we still like the guy. Look at the last game. He just made that amazing play. We're hoping to see more out of him. But guess what? We do need to be better. We do need... I only have a few more years here, and I need impact players. We need to draft better. Instead of saying that, what he should have said, he's going to insult the fans' intelligence by sitting here and telling us that, oh, back in the day, we used to sit people on the bench for a few years, and then they got to go into the game. We're not talking about a quarterback, the most hardest position to play in all of pro sports. We're not talking about that position. We're not asking shit of Jamin Davis, and he hasn't done shit. And you're going to sit up here and say that to us? And then also in the same breath acknowledge that we haven't had success in so long, and he says, oh, if we have success and we know the fans will come out in droves to support us, yeah, but you're not having success. And then you're going to come up here and say some shit like that. It blows my mind. So that's why it's so hard for me to stay on the Ron Rivera train. And I don't know. Am I overreacting to this? Does anyone else feel the same way after just listening, having to sit there and listen to that? Am I overreacting to this? Because I don't think I am. And then if you also watch this press conference, there's multiple times in this press conference, maybe even in the clip, I can't remember in the clip, where he is talking to the media and he's laughing, but he's just letting super loose and laughing and shit, like we just had a winning season or something. Bro, if you were really looking within yourself and thinking about, hey, I need to be better, and we're gonna go and evaluate everyone, and it's gonna start with us, the head coaches or whatever, you wouldn't be sitting there fucking laughing. You just said that that we haven't had success, and the fans want change, and we want something to be done, and you're gonna sit up here and fucking laugh in front of our face like we just had a winning record, and it's like a relief laugh, like the season is over, I can relax now, and now we're going to the next thing or whatever. Like bro, you didn't have a winning record, and we're not happy. All right, it just it gives me the bad vibe. It gives me a bad taste in my mouth what I just had to watch. And I watched the whole 37 minutes of the press conference. And like I said, I still, even after what you just heard me say, I do like Ron Rivera. I still like the guy. I want things to work out, but it's just so many consistencies up and down, just kind of like Taylor Heinicke, right? I understand that's why a lot of people out there don't think that Taylor Heinicke's the guy or could get better or whatever. I'm going to make probably my next video is going to either be on a recap of the season or what I think we should do at quarterback, aka what should we do with Taylor Heinicke, and going into the offseason, whatever. Those are going to be my next videos. But I had to come up here and it's crazy because when I turned on this live stream online, it wasn't at the very beginning. I just cut in as soon as I clicked on it. that was the first thing I heard. And then I went back and listened to the whole press conference, but I was like, after what I just heard, I have to come up here and talk about that. That is ridiculous. Ridiculous. He's going to sit here and try to like, it's almost like he's blaming us or something. How are you going to sit up here and blame the fans for you screwing up a first round pick? And sure, maybe Jamin Davis can get better. Sure, maybe he will contribute down the road, but you don't have down the road. You have a couple years left to get some shit done, and you haven't had a winning record yet, and you're going to sit up here and laugh, and you're going to sit up here and tell us our expectations are too high, and that we need to lower them, and then maybe we'll reach our expectations. That is loser shit. That is insane. I mean, I don't know how this isn't like almost borderline headline news shit when it comes to DC. That's loser shit that just came out your mouth. And not self-reflection, not, hey, I need to be better. I had a say in drafting Jamin Davis, and it was the wrong move. And if I want to have success here, and if I want to keep my damn job, this year was not satisfactory, and I'm going to look within myself and realize I had something to do with drafting Jamin Davis, and we need to do better. And instead of hearing that, we had to get told basically a slap in the face. That pisses me off, man. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about it? I'm sure maybe some people think I'm overreacting, but it rubbed me the wrong way hearing that, dude. Like, and he even acknowledges what we think. He knows what we think. He said, I know what people are saying about our first round pick. That's how he started off. I know what people are saying about our first round pick. Yeah, because it's the truth. He sucks. He wasn't a first round pick. Can he get better? Of course he can. Any player can at that age could get better, but you reached for a guy and you're not going to acknowledge it, and you're going to sit here and laugh and then also kind of sit here and blame us. Like, that blows my mind. All right, well, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I'm going to read all your comments, so let me know what you guys think. See you in the next one. Peace.